Some of those guys coming up. Big scrimmage coming up tomorrow for the Jaguars as well. JP Shadrick with John Ozier from the Hyundai Studios, Bucky Brooks in Los Angeles, and Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks is brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. See Fields first, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com. Bucky, good afternoon. What's up?
What's up, my guys? How we doing? It's a wonderful Wednesday. We getting it after. What's happening?
We're into it now, Buck.
I think we're in the dog days, Buck.
The dog days? What are we talking about? What dog days?
Dog days of camp.
Oh, we're not in the dog days. We're playing games. This is slow motion now. The hard time is when you're practicing without a game at the end of the week. At least you have a carrot dangling at the end of the stick.
Yeah, Bucky, look, you played, Bucky. You played when it was real. There's no dog days anymore. To me, until the regular season starts, it's sort of all dog days. But they play a game like 3 practices in now, Bucky. There's no you guys had to grind.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, so when JP's referencing dog days, I'm like, what are we talking about? We're playing games, and we got mandatory time in the building. Got to be out the building so many days during the week. I mean, look, I'm not bashing the way that it goes. I'm just saying I don't know if I would reference it as dog days.
Okay, maybe it was too aggressive. My apologies.
Dog days ended the last time they had a 2-a-day in 2010. You put the tombstone on dog days.
What would you call it, John, right now? Week 2?
It's
practice? I would call it practice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much has changed from,
I guess.
I mean, kind of, and OTAs with kind of some pads on. I mean, it's all the same. We're not tackling to the ground. We're not doing all this stuff. I mean, it's a very structured dress rehearsal. The games are real, though. The games are real.
All right, let's get our since I was way off on the dog days. Let's get the let's get your final thoughts, Bucky, coming out of that Steeler game. Overall, it felt like Liam Cohen. The next time we talked with him was just a little frustrated with, especially on the defensive side, alignment, assignment, communication issues in the game, and the Steelers quarterbacks were as efficient as could be, and that's on the defensive side. There were some penalties on offense. It wasn't the cleanest all-around game, just kind of hearing from the head coach. What was your impression now looking at it a few days later?
Look, I would agree with him. It wasn't the cleanest operation on all 3 sides, but it's the first preseason game. Some of that is to be expected. New coaching staff, new playbook, and all of that. There's going to be a bit of an acclimation period that they're going to have to go to. The great thing is they have a game this weekend to get better on the things that they messed up last week. But there's some positives to take out of it. You know, first offense had a scoring drive. Cam Little's kick certainly stands out. There were some individual performances that you can build upon. But if you're Liam Cohen and you're the head coach, yeah, you're frustrated, but you also know, hey, we have a few more weeks to get this cleaned up, because the most important part is we want to get to week 1 of the regular season trending upwards, meaning we feel good about where we're going. We have enough confidence to go into the game knowing, hey, man, this is a game that we can win. We should win, because we're gonna play our best game of the season this week.
Yeah, look, I always hesitate to try to write a book on a situation that was basically a third of a game, right? Or like even less than that. It was a 16th of a game, which is how long you saw the starters. I kind of think for Liam Cohen, it's a good thing. He saw a lot that he didn't like in terms of not having your cleats in the ground. We've heard that a lot this week, the whole cleats in the ground thing, but sort of not being ready for the tempo, having a couple of penalties early. It absolutely gave him a chance to sort of get in there, and say, this is not how we're going to play. A teaching moment, if you will. But I also, my guess is when he went home that night after that first game, he had to like the fact that the offense overcame an early penalty. And to me, I thought the fact that the quarterback looked in control, it looked like he was making some reads. And I don't know enough about how to describe this scheme and what you're looking for from the quarterback. But, Bucky, I thought the fact that you saw Trevor, it looked like stay over his feet, keep the footwork calm, follow his progressions in real time. That looked like the first sniff of what you're looking for from him.
Yeah, I would say that. The one thing that stood out to me, the quick rhythm throws, the ball getting out of his hand very quickly, trying to make a concerted effort to get the ball into the hands of the playmakers, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, Travis Etienne. All of the blue chip players got touches on that drive. And if we talk about the game is really players over plays. And so regardless of what Liam was trying to craft, the intent of getting the ball to the best players made a lot of sense. And it's a blueprint to what the Jaguars want to do going forward and how they're going to win games. Now, there's some more things that they can get to and expand upon. But at the end of the day, I saw all of the notable names have a touch or two very, very early in this game.
Is there anything, Bucky, and I don't want to make too much of it, but on the fourth and what was it, 1, 2?
It was short. Yeah, really short.
You know, they call the reverse, right?
Jet sweep, yeah, to
De'Ami
I'm sorry,
Brown.
the jet sweep. I'm
De'Ami
sorry.
Brown, yeah.
That shows me that if that's not a card he's trying to hold, that's going to be part of what they do. Do you follow me? Like in the preseason, if that was a trick or some sort of gimmick, but that's going to be part of it. And I thought he was trying to sort of show that, hey, this is what we're going to be. We're going to be creative. The running game is going to include a lot of that, as opposed to just turn around and hand it off to the back.
It was 4th and 1, by the way. And Pete and I and Austin Lane on Monday were talking about the same thing, John. Like, that's not just a Jacksonville thing, though, right? Bucky, you're seeing that jet sweep handoff around the league.
I haven't seen it a lot here, though.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't seen it a lot here, but and I'm gonna say this, and everyone can go to YouTube and look it up and try and get a feel for what this offense may be. I would say try and pull up everything that you can find from the 2018, 2019 LA Rams. If you go back to that time where they talked about that offense being one of the greatest offenses that we've seen, Jared Goff, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Todd Gurley, is very similar to the way this offense is operating. I'm not saying that Travis Etienne is Todd Gurley, but I'm saying there are a lot of things that the Rams did to help the quarterback get up and going, and it included a lot of fly sweep, fly motion action to kind of work the team east and west while also having a downhill element. To me, this offense is going to be eerily similar to what that offense was early until they craft their own identity. I think Liam Cohen, who was an assistant wide receiver coach during that time, I think he sees that formula can work in Jacksonville, and it may be a nice starting point for how this offense eventually evolves.
Plenty ahead. We'll get into Travis Hunter's night when we come back, and get ready for the Jaguars 5K Sports Complex Challenge Saturday, August 23rd. Race through Jacksonville. You'll finish strong at ViStar Ballpark, the old baseball grounds, and see your victory moment live on the big screen there. You can score up to 6 Jaguars home game tickets at a special low rate as well. Run into the season with the Jags. Register at 904-633-2000 or email ticketing@jaguars.com. John, you're going to run that, right? No, he's not. That's a no from John on the 5K. Back in a moment. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Finally, inventories and prices are customer friendly.
That's because summer's here, so let's keep it real at the Field Summer Sales Event.
New inventory is arriving daily. All new makes and models to choose from, even electric cars and SUVs.
Visit Fields today and find the fit for you.
And get an incredible offer like this.
For a limited time, get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months on a new 2024 all-electric Cadillac Lyriq at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville or Fields Cadillac St. Augustine.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow. Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
The kick is up. It's good.
Field goals for Firehouse Subs are back. Anytime the Jags nail a field goal that's 40 yards or longer, you can get a BOGO any sub. That's buy one, get one free, any medium sub, online or in the app for 4 days after the game. So cheer on the Jags, watch for the big kicks, and get your BOGO any sub at participating Firehouse Subs throughout Jacksonville. The hottest subs in Duval.
Hi, it's Sam Kavaris. You probably already know that Echo East Coast Transportation is the official transportation provider for the Jaguars. I've been a client for more than 30 years because they're from here, and like you, they've been Jaguar fans from the beginning. So for any prearranged transportation needs, call them at 904-631-5466 or find them online at ectjax.com and use the code SAM in the special instructions box for your 15% Jaguars discount. And if you want to talk Jaguars, they can do that too.
You know, it is intentional. We have so many playmakers. You want to get them all involved and early and let guys get the rock and do something with it. So I think that is intentional for sure. And then there's times where the ball just kind of finds guys more than others. I think in games like this, obviously you want to spread the ball around. You want to get guys touches, get them going, kind of see what we can do. But I thought the guys did a nice job. Obviously we had the one drive, so it's hard to really evaluate beyond that. But yeah, I thought the guys did a good job when their number was called.
Trevor Lawrence, you might have heard of him, quarterback for the Jaguars after the game on Saturday against the Steelers. Welcome back. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, JP Shadrick, John Ozier in Jacksonville, Bucky out in Los Angeles. And Jags football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence, who you just heard from, and Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 season. The Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th. Go to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Bryce Young against Trevor Lawrence in week 1 of the regular season coming up. And yes, Travis Hunter will be part of that. He was part of the game on Saturday night, guys, with 11 official snaps on offense, 8 on defense, not in consecutive drives, though. He wasn't out there with the first-team defense. Came on a little bit later on defense, but 2 targets, 2 catches, had a catch wiped away with penalty. And Bucky got his feet wet a little bit. That's a good step. Now, I think, what would be a good next step for Travis Hunter?
More of the same. Continue to figure out how to get him significant action on both sides of the ball while keeping him fresh and ready to go. I think being able to get 11 offensive snaps, 8 defensive snaps. I mean, it's pretty impressive that he was able to get so much time. The thing that I saw on offense is very natural for him in terms of catching the ball and making things happen. He didn't get a chance to break a couple of tackles. I mean, he caught a couple balls but didn't break a tackle. But you can see the fear factor that he can create with his quickness and explosiveness and those things. Defensively, there's been a lot made of the missed tackle in the run game. But I'm going to tell you, on a couple of those snaps when he was in coverage, he was right where he needed to be. And you could just see how easy all of this is because he's been doing it for so long. Really excited about what we saw, even though the production doesn't jump off the page when you first look at it.
Well, look, it's one series on offense, and you can easily see if you can sort of take that series and imagine it spread out over the course of a game. This is one series. How many series do you get in a game, JP? About 9-ish.
Yeah.
Say 8. Well, on the next series, he may not catch a pass. But somewhere in there, he's going to break one of those tackles. And somewhere in there, they're going to have run enough plays to get some looks where they're not necessarily. He's going to get his on offense, and he's going to make it happen. I could care less about the missed tackle. He could have played that better, but that's the first thing you've seen out of him. He looks very natural out there. They have 17 games. I would expect at some point 3 or 4 times he's going to make a play defensively where he turns momentum around, and he's going to make people fearful on offense the entire time he's in there. If he's on the field, I don't worry about him making an impact. I don't know if his stats will be enough to satisfy the haters. You know about the haters, right, Buck?
I do understand about the haters.
There's haters out there. I think they're always going to hate on Travis Hunter. because stats may not, he's not living up to whatever. He looks like a guy who, when he's on the field, the coordinator on the other side of the ball is going to have to figure out where he is. And that is why I do not worry about him contributing in a significant way from the start. I don't know what the stats will be, but he's going to matter.
That certainly will. Travis Hunter getting his feet wet last week. We'll see what happens in the scrimmage. They've got the scrimmage in the practice field on Thursday, and then what they have in mind against the Saints coming up this Sunday at the Superdome.
Did we lose Bucky?
I don't know. We'll come back in a moment and try to find out. Oh, he's back.
Buck.
Hey, he's back.
I'm back.
All right.
Any more Travis Hunter thoughts, Buck?
No. I think what John said, like, he'll never be able to satisfy the haters. The big thing for me is his comfort level and the coach's comfort level having a two-way player. I think the coaches are more anxious about this experience than Travis is. And talking to Travis is like, man, I've always done this. Like, I kind of know how to manage and handle everything. I think the coaches as we get up in levels, they micromanage and they worry about a little bit of everything. I think Travis is going to make it very easy for them to just say, hey, man, just let him go play. It may take 5 weeks. It may take 8 weeks. But at some point in the season, you're just going to see number 12 run on and off the field as he feels comfortable being able to play on both sides.
Let's come back. We'll get into some position battles, including maybe a linebacker. What's going to happen there for the Jaguars? Maybe we'll get some answers. Jags fans want customized Jags furniture for your home. Check out zipchair.com and browse all customizable options. ZipChair furniture for fans. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Finally, inventories and prices are customer friendly.
That's because summer's here, so let's keep it real at the Field Summer Sales Event.
New inventory is arriving daily. All new makes and models to choose from, even electric cars and SUVs.
Visit Fields today and find the fit for you.
And get an incredible offer like this.
Right now, lease the new 2025 all-electric Cadillac Optic for only $429 a month at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville or Fields Cadillac St. Augustine.
Chelsea here from Renewal by Andersen. You've seen and heard our ads where I talk about Renewal by Andersen's exclusive Fibrix material being twice as strong as vinyl, incredibly energy efficient, and custom built to fit your home perfectly. But if you haven't reached out yet, now's the time. August only. Renewal by Andersen is offering triple savings. $300 off every window, $825 off every patio door, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Don't wait. Schedule your free consultation today at bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
What's the best part about lawn care during the winter? You can give it a rest. Lawns only need watering up to once a week. Really, that's it. Using less water means you're saving time and money that you can put towards something else. Before you run your sprinklers, remember, give it a rest and only water up to once a week. For more information, visit waterlessflorida.com. Watch the game, host your crew, or just unwind at PC Grill and Patio at Sheridan Jacksonville, part of the Marriott family of hotels. Enjoy craft cocktails, tasty bites, and indoor-outdoor seating perfect for watch parties, happy hours, and events. Mention this radio ad for 10% off food and drinks. Visit SheridanJacksonville.com or call 904-564-4772.
Welcome back. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, and this season we're bringing the heat with 4 chances to see the legendary Prowler throwback uniforms hit the field. That's right. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 games.
4.
1 iconic look. Don't miss your chance to witness history in the making again and again and again and again. Get your tickets at jaguars.com/tickets. The 3 divisional games and then the Kansas City Chiefs game on Monday Night Football. The 4 games. JP Shadrick, John Ozier. John can count to 4. Bucky Brooks also can. Time now for defensive coverage of the game presented by GEHA. And let's take a look at the linebacker group for the Jaguars. And coming out of the first game, first preseason game. We know about the names that are there, the guys that were expected or are expected. Foye Oluokun, Devin Lloyd, Ventrell Miller has contributed there in the past. Dennis Gardeck's a new addition, 8-year veteran player in the NFL who's coming off a knee injury, but he didn't play in the game last week. So, Bucky, where do you stand at linebacker right now? There's still a lot of preseason to be done to figure out some stuff.
Well, yeah, I think the names that you mentioned are guys that you can probably write their name in pen on the depth chart. Everybody else is subject to an evaluation that will continue through week 2 and week 3. The big thing is, and we've said this about our special teams units, Heath Falwell, Duke Thompson, they do a great job of getting our guys ready to play. The guys that are backups, they're going to need to be able to be special team standouts. That is what separates those who make the team and those who don't. You have to be able to trust that if you're a backup and we give you a jersey on Sundays, you have to be able to find a role to thrive and excel in on Sundays. And so these guys over the next 2 weeks, they got to make a convincing and compelling case that they're worthy of being a backup because of what they do as special teamers and also what they provide as a backup player position-wise.
And Bucky, I admit, during practice, it's sometimes hard for me to figure this out because it's hard to know what defensive look that they're in from our vantage point. There's so much going on. But could some of the linebacker situation be if they're in a certain package, they're going to play certain guys, and if they're in other packages, they're going to play other guys between maybe Yasir Abdullah, Miller, Lloyd, Foye. Is there any of that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think they want to be able to be a team that is diverse in terms of how they approach it. And the more good players that can play, the more creative you will get as a play caller to put them on the field, to give them opportunities to impact the game. And so as you talk about having different looks and different combinations, a lot of it comes down to what do they show us in preseason game and practices where we feel like certain players can excel in a given role. And the more guys that can excel as specialists, the more packages that you create to allow them to impact the game. But a lot of it is player driven. But these guys will have an opportunity, continue to have the opportunity to show it in practice, but really in games that they have something that they're on the verge of mastering. And then when you have masters, you put them out there and allow them to thrive in those roles.
All right, while we're talking about position battles, I mean, there's a few of them that are still up in the air, certainly. Safety spots, both of those. The running back situation, we've talked about that throughout training camp. That could just be what it is, especially early in the season. But where are they on the offensive line, John, right now? And, it feels like there could be they worked in the scrimmage the other week where they put guys in different places. Anton Harrison's playing left tackle at one point. This is far from over on the O-line.
Yeah, it sort of feels like it's Walker Little left, Anton right, Ezra Cleveland left, and Hainsey center, unless somebody sort of knocked one of those guys off the perch, which probably is still to be told, but that sort of feels like chalk right now. And maybe it just feels that way to me because I've sort of considered that chalk, and I haven't really seen enough happen to make me think it's not. Adoga and Makari, it feels to me like there's a decent chance Adoga's the guy, more so than we thought a couple of weeks ago, because Makari's so versatile behind him. But that's just sort of my thought based on what I've seen in practice, and it's always important to clarify something like that by saying not every person sees every practice the same way because there's so much going on. So I think, Bucky, if they have McCary as the as the backup, they're in great shape because he's so versatile and can play so many other positions.
Yeah, no, I think the versatility helps. The more guys that can operate in that swing space provides you with comfort on game day. We talk about the numbers game that happens on game day in terms of the numbers guys that are activated versus down. Most offensive lines have 8 guys that they carry. Well, depending on the versatility of others, you can either carry more or fewer going into a game. So all of it is in play, but I do think versatility is a huge asset. And then I would say this, look, man, for the Jaguars to be the running team that Liam Cohen talks about, you got to have some ass kickers up front. You got to have some guys that want to do that part of it too. So as much as I would love to talk about the execution or whatever, the effort, the energy, some of that has to be a part of the equation as well.
I like that. Pretty straightforward. Got to have some ass kickers. That's
on a line and on a podcast.
That's in many phases of life, actually. Yeah.
It has to be that way. It has to be that way. If we're going to be a little edgy, you got to have a little edge to us, and that typically comes from the offensive and defensive lines.
Bucky, is there anything to this? I've been saying it on a couple of forums all week, so tell me if I'm wrong, and, I've been wrong before. But the touchdown in the second half, when they sort of helped Tootin into the end zone, I get that it was against backups. I get that it was backup offensive linemen. But to me, that had a feel of Liam Cohen has talked about that all offseason, all during training camp. They want to be able to run the ball. They want that aggressiveness. And then the excitement after they got in. Is there anything to that, hey, this is what we want to be. We did it. This is what we've talked about. That just had a feel of a culture type play, even though a bunch of guys who may not be part of the culture were the ones making it.
Absolutely. And I think those guys take the cues from the guys that are listed in front of them. They may be the starters, but the backups fall in line. And what you saw is definitely an attitude play. And as you talk about the culture and what the Jaguars aspire to be physically as a running team, you got to have some of that. It's always easy to tell your players, whoa, rather than giddy up. And what we saw on that play, we had to slow them down a little bit because of the pushing, but I dig that, and that is something that you certainly want to build off of if you're Liam Cohen and company.
It's become kind of a go-to phrase for Bucky this offseason. If you were defining Bucky, it's the "whoa, giddy up" analogy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah, come on, we got to get them going.
Got to get them going.
It makes sense, though. I mean, you know, I'm sure once the regular season hits, Bucky's going to pull out like 5 new ones.
Oh, he'll have.
I got some more things in the back. Just like you pulled out the beard, like for training camp, the dog days of training camp, evidently. You poured out the beard. Maybe I'll have some other stuff when we get into the dog days of the regular season.
That's just great. We're back in a moment. Our final thoughts. We'll hear from Cam Little when we come back. Jaguars kicker made a 70-yarder. You might have heard about it last week. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. For over 50 years, Fields Auto Group has been America's premier family-owned luxury auto group, selling the most iconic brands in the world. We understand the luxury customer and provide an extraordinary car buying and service experience. It's not just about selling cars. Fields is focused on building lifelong relationships. We invite you to visit Fields and enjoy an honest and memorable luxury car buying experience.
Chelsea here from Renewal by Andersen. You've seen and heard our ads where I talk about Renewal by Andersen's exclusive Fibrix material being twice as strong as vinyl, incredibly energy efficient, and custom built to fit your home perfectly. But if you haven't reached out yet, now's the time. August only. Renewal by Andersen is offering triple savings. $300 off every window, $825 off every patio door, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Don't wait. Schedule your free consultation today at bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Hi, it's Sam Kavaris. You might know that Echo East Coast Transportation is the official transportation provider of the Jaguars. I've been a client of theirs for more than 30 years because they're from here and they're Jaguar fans too. So if you're looking for prearranged transportation from the simple to the complex, call them at 904-631-5466 or find them online at ectjax.com and use the code SAM in the special instructions box for your 15% Jaguars discount. And if you want to talk Jaguars, they can do that too.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow! Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
I was kind of, me and Logan were like, we want to kick it, we want to kick it. And so when he gave me the opportunity, it was obviously, you go out there and you want to at least make sure you get it there to make sure it's like, okay, well, we're not going to throw him back out there for another deep field goal like that. But we went out there, and adrenaline's a beautiful thing. But yeah, we went out there and executed.
Cam Little with a big kick, 70-yarder against the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. Welcome back. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, brought to you by Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville. See Fields first. Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com. And it is the longest field goal in any kind of NFL game, but not the official NFL record. That is 66 yards by Justin Tucker of the Ravens back in 2021. That actually hit the crossbar in Detroit and went through. There was also a 66-yarder last preseason by Brandon Aubrey of the Cowboys, who has a 65-yarder in the regular season that year also. But Cam Little from 70 is unheard of. Janikowski, I think, tried one at one point from 76. It wasn't close. There have been some other lengthy tries, but nothing like this. And we'll see. It has, obviously, Bucky, the situation has to be right. End of a half, end of a game when you kind of need it. And, you're not going to give the ball up in at the plus 40 for the other team. In the middle of a game, you're not going to hit a 70-yard field goal.
No, you're not going to do that. And it's one of those things that's really kind of crazy to watch unfold because being on the call, Brian Sexton kind of setting it up, and obviously he knew more than I knew about Cam Little making a 72-yarder in practice, all of those things. So when I'm thinking end-of-half scenarios, my mind is conditioned to think 35 to 40-yard line. That gives you a reasonable kick or whatever. At no point during my process can I think about the ball being on the other side of the 50, and yeah, let's try the kicker out there and let him see if he can make it. I'm thinking of all the bad scenarios. Man, this dude's gonna hurt himself trying to blow this out. But it was an unbelievable kick. It is what I want my golf drives to look like in terms of how it sounded coming off the foot. I want my tee shot to sound like that hitting the club or the driver. I mean, because it was a boot, and you knew mid-flight, like, oh man, this has a chance. And he struck it clean. Great job of executing it by Cam Little. And it is a game changer when you think about game planning and executing the plan, knowing that you have a weapon at kicker that really expands the scoring zone for the Jags.
And the jersey and the cleat were sent to Canton, Ohio today. I saw that on Jags social media earlier today, but not the football because
you can't ask for it, or did we just send it?
We just sent it anyway. They're like, what is this?
I'll send my pen next week.
Right.
No, and it should be. That's cool. I mean, it certainly changes the line to gain, and it makes you wonder a little bit, like, where their trust for mid-quarter kicks starts. Usually that would have been 57, well,
and conditions come into play too.
Yeah,
right?
But if you hit from 72 at the end, it makes you think that 60, 61 used to be unheard of for mid-quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But as Cam talked about after the game, 52 is supposed to happen now. Like, that's supposed to be not even a thought. How far back do they feel good about Cam mid-quarter where they don't feel like there's a risk of does the risk outweigh the reward? All that comes in. I think it's going to be further back than people would expect. It wouldn't surprise me to see him trotting him out there from 57, 58 after a regular drive, because I think they think he's just going to hit it. When he walked out there, Bucky, I know you haven't watched him a whole lot. My first thought was, I wouldn't be surprised if he hits this. And so as it was going through, I didn't have the, oh my goodness. I was like, oh, okay, Cam just hit a 70-yarder. Oh, cool.
I mean, maybe because you're privy to seeing it more than others, but it is weird seeing the ball set up on the other side of the 50 and you're taking a long distance swing at it. Like, what it does, working backwards, and then I'll get to your thing, what it does for Liam in 2-minute situations, end of half, end of the game, it gives you maybe a more aggressive approach with, say you get the ball back with 19, 20 seconds left. Well, now before you used to think, I got to get to the opposite 40 to get there. Well, for the defense, they also have to change the way that they play, which makes them more vulnerable and susceptible to big plays, because what used to be, playback, let them have 10, 15, maybe they'll take a Hail Mary shot. For the Jags, it's soft coverage. Great. That'll give us a 3-point opportunity. Then in middle of the quarter, I still think it stays the same. Your target line is the 35 or 40-yard line on the field, which maybe pushes it back. If the ball's on the 40, that's a 57-yarder.
That's probably
I think that's
limit. Yeah.
I think that's more in play now. But you think about it, John, if you're able to get a touchback with the new dynamic kickoff, you talk about the 35-yard line, 15 yards to the 50 or whatever, you get 2 first downs, you're now beginning to talk about, hey, we're in field goal range. Like it just changes. It changes some of the play calling approach where you can be more aggressive on the front end of it to give yourself a chance to score points.
Yeah, it does. You get a touchback, and the other team takes the lead. With 15 seconds to go. Mm-hmm. If there's a touchback, you're absolutely one pass away from having a chance. So it will make that a little more strategic how teams kick off in that situation, I would guess. So it's going to be interesting to see how this play out. It's hard to visualize it, but seeing it play out, it's going to be fascinating.
And then another part of this, too, is that mid-quarter, they also have another specialist who can pin the other team deep if needed. I mean, Logan Cook had only 3 touchbacks last season.
Right.
I mean, so he is as locked in as anybody else as well. So that's a choice. Okay, are we going to pin them deep and there's our defense playing well, or do we try for the 3 and, a mid-50s 3 instead? I mean, it depends on the distance to go. All that comes into play here, Bucky.
And there was a real reaction, Bucky, when he made it. And I don't know how to define boyish enthusiasm, but there was certainly, I thought, the reaction of the players. I get that you're going to be excited about a 70-yarder and you've seen history and all that, but there did seem Travis Hunter almost leaped over the stadium wall, but he wasn't the only one. There was a real joy in it that maybe it speaks to how much they like Cam. Maybe they liked the the cereal commercial he shot for us or whatever. But there was something real there about the joy in that was kind of cool to see. I don't know what it translates to, but I think it matters.
Yeah, no, I think we've all been around teams where the kicker was off on an island and not really a part of the team. Cam has earned the respect of his teammates where he is fully into the team fabric. So has Logan Cook and those other guys. And the thing that I was going to say, John, and this is unique in terms of, we always talk about 3 phases of football: offense, defense, special teams. The Jaguars have an opportunity to use that special teams unit as a deciding factor in games. And it is a huge hidden weapon that can help this team really make a climb up the charts. We talk about the league being a league that's a one-score league where most games on Sundays come down to 8 points or fewer. Well, now if you're proficient nailing field goals and great in the field position game, because Logan Cook understands how to play the coffin corner, it gives the Jaguars an opportunity to maybe knock off some teams that would be viewed as better than them on paper, but they're able to even it up a little bit with their kicking units.
And credit to Heath Farwell, too, JP, because remember, you were around when they were talking about when they drafted him. Mm-hmm. It was not a given that Cam Little was the best kicker in that draft. Heath went out, and Heath heavily influenced the call to draft him because he looked at him and he believed in this kid. Yeah. So he'd have been somewhere, but maybe not here. So some credit to Heath Farwell on that front.
No doubt about that. Jaguars Saints coming up this Sunday. It's a 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff at the Caesars Superdome. The Jags have a scrimmage on the practice field tomorrow, John.
I've never seen that before. I've never seen a second scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how intense they go, Bucky, tomorrow, and how many reps are in, and does that affect things for Sunday? We'll find out, I guess.
No, I like that. the only way to get ready to play ball is to play ball. And if you're not going to play your starters, presumably a ton in these games, you have to get them some live reps, even if it's in a controlled environment. It's a unique opportunity to do that. But because the Jaguars missed out on having multiple joint practice sessions, this is a way to make up for that.
And I wonder if you're not going to see this a little more moving forward, Bucky, especially once they go to 18, if they indeed go to 18. Just coaches trying to figure out some way, and maybe it's a first-year head coach thing, wanting to see the guys more in live action or something close to it. But the more you cut back preseason, as much as fans don't like preseason, and Bucky can speak to this better than I can, you need evaluating points. You need time to evaluate these guys. And 4 preseason games was really important to talent evaluators and to roster builders. And maybe this is a way of trying to get one more point of that back.
Oh, it's important. It's important because anytime you can get the live reps and the action, you want to do that because we are evaluating players. This is an evaluation period. As much as we're trying to fast forward and get to the regular season, you want to make sure that you do a comprehensive evaluation of your team to make sure you don't miss out on anybody. So I applaud them. I think it's a great idea to have a scrimmage because you still can have a quick whistle and control it to a point. You have the scrimmage, you have a preseason game, a lot of ball in 1 week.
A lot of
dog days.
A lot of talking ball in the dog days. That's what we've done today. Bucky, we'll talk to you in New Orleans, I guess, this Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to try and rest and recover dog days of podcasting, so I'm trying to get ready for the game.
That's anaugh out of you today. I know your name's on the show, but that's Bucky Brooks, John Ozier. I'm JP Shadrick. Thanks to our entire crew, Brent Reber, Joe Fortunato, Tyler Stidham, doing huge work today to get us on the air. This is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks. Bucky, we'll talk to you.
All right, man.
See you, buddy. Thanks.
It's better to